Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey Motorheads, if you work in the trades or if you own a service company, we're about to change everything you do at work, and that's thanks to Adrian, formerly known as Adrian Steel. Now they upfit trucks like we see over there and vans like this. The company's been in business for decades, John. What makes Adrian special? What makes products unique from Adrian?
I think the first thing that makes us special at Adrian is the people. You know, we've got some of the hardest working Americans building our products right out of Adrian, Michigan. Everyone goes, where'd the name Adrian come from? Well, we're out of Adrian, Michigan. 906 James Street is where we hail from. And I'll tell you, if you're a vocational trade person, if you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, if you're a telecom person, or you're in the HVAC business, we have a product that is going to help you change your business. And as you mentioned, you know, one of the things that we focus on is how that end user goes to work. How do they use their products to carry their tools and consumables? How do they keep themselves efficient in the back of the van? You've seen a lot of tradespeople come to your home or your office and you just see a mess in the back of the vehicle. We know that time is money. And what we want to do is make sure our product is designed so there's a place for everything. Everything has a place for it to go. You can do a visual inventory when you're ready to leave the job site and say, I'm missing something. And that's because that Adrian product is designed about how the way the vocational tradesman goes to work.
You mentioned time is money. We talked earlier, you guys have actually quantified how much time costs.
Well, it's a lot of fun. So I was at a roundtable discussion at one of the Air Conditioning Contractors Association meetings, and we were talking about how much does it actually cost. This is a few years back, so you might add a couple pennies to it, but they came up with $1.65 a minute. So then you start thinking about technicians in the back of the vehicle looking for a product or a tool that he can't find, and it's $1.65 a minute, and the clock just keeps ticking. And it's the same if they leave a tool or a consumable at a job site. They have to go back to retrieve that. So one of the things that we look at when we're at Adrian is we just want to make sure that product is designed that people can see where their tools are. And we've designed just a wide variety of products to accommodate that. We came out this year with our brand new next gen shelving, and our next generation shelving is a phenomenal addition to the Adrian Steel product line because it's adaptable and it's longer than any shelf that we've ever made. We now can go up to 144 inches. It's adaptable shelves. They can go up, down on inch centers, and you can adjust this thing any way you want to for the way that you go to work.
Adrian offers packages. This is the HVAC package here. So how adaptable is all that once you start with the HVAC package?
What's neat is it's extremely adaptable. So yeah, this would be like a start to an HVAC package for sure, identified by the tank racks. So when you look at the tank racks, you know, the air conditioning contractor tech has to carry tanks. And so what we want to do is make sure those tanks are designed that they're not straining themselves going in and out. So you've got a side angle, so when that customer or technician is grabbing that tank off of the van, they're not inside straining their back. Safety and efficiency. And then you just add on product as you need. So you could start with a blank shelf and say, I have these tools or I have this equipment that goes with me on every job. And we want to make sure there's a place for that so when they open the door, they can immediately reach that. Because let's just say they spend 10 seconds looking for it. Time's money. And if we can save that time, you're going to get more out of the work van. At the end of the week, if you could do one extra job, what would that mean to your bottom line? And Adrian can help you get there.
Now, we've touched on safety a little bit, but that's a much bigger part of the equation when it comes to being efficient. How important is that to Adrian?
The key thing that we always look at Adrian Steel is we want that technician to go home as safe as when he left his house in the morning. So we look at everything that we design to make sure that there's nothing that can injure him. We design a ladder rack that actually drops the ladder down to the customer, down to the technician, so he's not straining or needing a ladder to get to his ladder. Every piece of that is a safety standard that we look at to make sure that that customer is safe going to and from the workplace and to and from the customer that he's calling on.
And from a business standpoint, time is money, so if you're out with an injury, that's time you're not working.
Yeah, when you look at what a Bureau of Workers' Compensation claim costs, the cost of anything else is very small. The one final thing on safety is that we had the product third-party crash tested. So we want to make sure that that driver or that passenger is not going to get injured. And one thing that stood out was the 17 mounting points to make sure that our product stays in place in the event of an accident. A lot of the product out there has a 7-point mounting piece. So you see we go a little bit above and beyond what would typically be out there. And it's very important to us to make sure that our technicians are safe on the road.
sum up Adrian quickly.
Comprehensive, adaptable, and we're going to help your business make more money.
And not to mention, it's made in the USA in Michigan. Go to adrian.com to find this and a whole lot more. Their stuff is amazing. We'll be right back with more great stuff for your vehicle when we come back to Motorhead Garage. Stay tuned. Motorhead Garage is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics, PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store, and by Custom Auto Sound, audio for the great classics, customs, and street rods.
First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. You get the point. Up to 10 gears in the automatic transmissions today. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. What's going on inside of there? All kinds of stuff. Starts right here at the torque converter, then it goes through a pump which develops fluid pressure, and then it has to go through all these planetary gear sets and clutches in order to achieve those gears. Not an easy thing to do. Right here you can see it. That thing's riddled with different parts inside to make these gears happen. But the key are these clutch plates and clutch packs. What happens there? Well, they squeeze together. They're either holding or driving some member of that transmission and achieving these gears. Len, it's a hard job right here, but this thing uses line pressure to get it done. So what's happening is you have these steel plates and then these clutches. And what we do is we put them in a clutch pack and then line pressure, bam, squeeze these together. And we may even be holding this with a band. Think about the abuse the fluid has to take.
Right, the fluid is doing a couple jobs here. It has to deal with the heat, but it's also providing that line pressure. And as temperatures go up, fluid tends to get thin, which compounds the problem. So you have to make sure you're using extremely solid technology, which AMSOIL does with our automatic transmission fluids, because we understand all of that stuff that you just talked about. So very robust base oils that can handle the heat. We don't want things to oxidize, so proper additive inclusion in these things to make sure that it'll take the heat and it doesn't allow slipping, because we know heat and slip, that's what kills a transmission.
And you mentioned it earlier, these computers today, they boost line pressure. You hold it, you boost line pressure. Sometimes you don't even feel the slipping today, and then all of a sudden he just gives up. So this thing could be slipping and you don't know it. It's important to change that fluid.
Right, you want to maintain that. Check your OEM manufacturer's recommended interval, of course. That's what we recommend. Make sure your fluid is fresh, especially if you're towing or you're really working that vehicle.
Yeah, that transmission alone could cost up to $10,000. Make sure you're taking care of yours. For all your service needs, just go to amsoil.com.
My name is Darrell Greer. This is my 1985 Monte Carlo SS. My sister bought it new in 1985, and every time I see her, she wishes she hadn't sold it to me. Had a 383 stroker built and put in it, and I'm tickled to death with it. The 383's got a lot more power. I think 305 high outputs, they were rated about 165 horsepower. And this one's up around the 500 neighborhood, about every 10 miles to the gallon is all she does. Every service station I come to, I gotta pull in and fill up. But it's got the 383 stroker, aluminum heads, Holly sniper, fuel injection, really like it. It's worth stopping to fill up just so I can get out and cruise in the car. The paint repainted in 1991 because the car sat out in the weather in the first 6 years of its life, didn't have a garage to go in, and it faded out. Interior's off stock, except for the headliner, but the upholstery, carpet, is still all original. I replaced some of the window seals around the doors and the window. Steel rubber, that's where the products came from. Easy to install, and the price. Didn't have no problem with it, and put it in there and it just tightened everything up. Well, my sister said if I ever got rid of the car, it's coming back to her house. But I said, as far as I know right now, the car's not going nowhere. I'm gonna keep it just like it is.
Cars and trucks today are more complicated than ever, and that's because of all the technology that goes into these cars to make driving easier, to make it safer, and to make it more efficient. And all that technology means a lot more electrical wiring. In fact, over 1,000 wires and somewhere around 2.5 miles of wiring on some new cars. Now just imagine if mice get into your garage and into your car where it's nice and cozy and they damage those wires. It happens more than you think, and it costs way more than you think to repair it, sometimes well into the thousands of dollars. So devices from Mouse Blocker can save you the money and the heartache. You just plug them in and the ultrasonic waves will drive the mice crazy. They'll stay out of your space and they'll stay out of your car. You can protect your investment like we do here in the Mouse Blocker studio. Find the protection you need at mouseblocker.com. This is Motorhead Garage, the only place on TV where you can see all the latest aftermarket gear for your car, truck, RV, boat, whatever it is. Here is one from the archives you're going to love. This trailer from Jumping Jack Trailers doesn't need a long introduction. You look at their website and it says one trailer does it all. And Robbie, what can I do with a trailer from Jumping Jack?
And haul your ATVs, side-by-sides, camping gear, have a comfortable camp when you're there, or use it as a high-wall utility trailer.
So it's really a 3-in-1, and of course starting the bare basics. You got a utility trailer if you needed to use it for that. How does it set up as a utility trailer?
The whole tent package will slide out of your trailer. You'll take the sides and they'll lock in a vertical position, which gives you a huge high-wall utility trailer to haul firewood, take anything to the dump, move brush, haul furniture, whatever you need.
But anybody can be just a utility trailer. So now let's talk about using a Jumping Jack trailer to haul some toys around.
Sure, when it's all folded up, it gives you a top deck to load your ATVs, your side-by-sides, camping gear, motorcycles, whatever you want to put right on top of it.
But unlike other trailers, you've got a lower deck as well. So what goes on
underneath that deck? Your tent is all packaged up in a weather-tight package, ready to deploy once you get to where you're going to camp.
And we'll get to the tent here in a minute. Let's talk about actually putting the toys on. Now, how much can I hold on top of the Jumping Jack trailer?
We have a couple different sizes, depending on what size, anything from 1 ATV all the way up to 4 ATVs or any of the big side-by-sides or UTVs out there on the market.
Which is a lot different from others because you can usually put them nose to tail.
Correct.
And you're pretty limited there. So.
Yeah.
And what makes it possible to load them from either the side or the back?
Just the way the trailer's designed, if you're loading ATVs, obviously you'll load from the side. The UTVs and side-by-sides a little bit longer, just load right up from the rear of the trailer.
And the ramps, then, what happens with those once I'm done? The telescope, like a...
Telescoping ramp, yeah, so you'll
like
just
ladder.
Collapse it down and slide it underneath your machines right on the top deck of the trailer. Store them right there, strap them down.
Now, how durable is this trailer? How much weight is it going to hold?
Very durable. Our tandem axle models will haul about 5,000 pounds up on top of them, so it doesn't matter what side-by-side or UTV you have, it will haul it.
It's not just UTVs and ATVs. What kind of stuff do you see people hauling on the trailer from Jumping Jack?
Kayaks, canoes, camping gear, motorcycles, cars, whatever you want to put up there.
And it'll take the weight. How much does the trailer itself weigh? This is a 17-footer?
This is our 17-foot model. It weighs 2,100 pounds.
Super light.
Super lightweight. Tote behind basically any vehicle out there.
And strong at the same time.
Correct.
How do you ensure quality control at Jumping Jack?
We do everything in-house. From all of our welding, manufacturing, everything done right there in-house, so we keep a close eye on everything.
Very cool. And now let's talk about the tent here. Once you get where you're going, you take your toys off. And how does it work to take the tent out?
Top to bottom takes about 5 minutes to set up the entire tent. Really simple to do, quick and easy. No parts, pieces, no poles or anything like that to assemble. It's all right there ready to go.
And what kind of accessories then can I get with the tent once I get it set up?
There's a whole list of accessories kind of depending on how you're going to use the trailer. Anything from sink setups to wider beds, propane carriers, awnings, storage hutches, a whole list of them.
The tent, how weatherproof is this? How durable is it?
It's an awesome tent. It's all made of 13-ounce marine canvas. It's all been treated with what's called a sun forger treatment. So you're gonna stay dry, retains heat very well, and it's very durable.
It's some of the little details I've noticed, starting with the cargo trailer. You have the rail all the way around, so you can use the ramps on any side there. And the way the ramps telescope, that's a nice one too. And then you've thought of some stuff here, like with the kitchen here on the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the details there that make that?
All of our accessories are really cool. They either have a spot to store inside of the tent as you're traveling, or there's a spot for them to strap on the outside. So different things. The water rack will store on the side, cooler rack up on the front. Once you get to camp, they've got different spots where they can attach on the trailer to serve different functions. Everything's kind of multi-function on it.
And you've even thought of a place, for the tubs, standard tub you'd see in your typical store, and you can use it as drawers.
Yeah.
So you get thought of every detail. I know there's a lot of folks that might have a smaller vehicle, maybe a Jeep or something like that. How towable is one of the jumping jack trailers with one of those?
Extremely towable. Our smallest model weighs just over 950 pounds. The largest one we're on here only weighs 2,100 pounds. So really any small vehicle, small SUVs, Jeeps, anything like that can tow them around.
And when I say you've thought of everything, you guys have thought of everything, right down to the axles. How do those make it easier to tow behind your car?
All of our trailers are built around a torsion axle, which gives you high ground clearance and independent suspension. So whether you're high speed on a highway or off-road, they do excellent.
No matter what you're doing in the great outdoors, Jumping Jack Trailers is a must-stop. Go to jumpingjacktrailers.com. This is unbelievable. You're going to love it too. We'll return next with more Motorhead Garage, so don't go anywhere. Motorhead Garage is brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment. Build it with Summit Racing Equipment, the world's speed shop. Blue Devil, torture tested, highway approved. And by Core 4x4, unleash your off-road spirit. A few weeks ago, we featured Walter Reed as our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. And while we were at Walter's shop, we ran into Hank Shepard. Now, Hank is a slot car drag racer, and we're talking speed. Well, okay, only about 30 miles an hour, but scale speed, that's a few hundred miles an hour, and these cars are pretty cool. Hank tells me he has somewhere around 30 cars, and I tell you, at a few $100 a pop, that's a pretty big investment. He says most of his cars were built by friends, and some very talented friends at that, because the details in some of those little race cars, absolutely incredible. Hank Shepard is our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. Hey, you can nominate a friend or you can nominate yourself to be Motorhead of the Week. Just go to motorheadgarage.tv and tell us your story there. Here at Motorhead Garage, we love giving the people what they want. Here's a piece you wanted to see again. You're going to want to pay attention to this segment because we've got something that's going to make your vehicle perform better and look great too. And now, Jesse, you're here with grill ads. You guys make all kinds of accessories for all those vehicles, and we'll get to those, but I want to talk about the main attraction here. On the grill here, tell me what I'm looking at.
Right, you're looking at our mesh bug screen that we repurposed. We're able to digitally print any image onto the mesh now using a patent pending process. Company logos are very popular with businesses across the U.S., but we also have a stock line of flags that we do as well.
And you have a whole lot of things in stock. What if I want something custom for my company or for my team or something like that?
Right, it's a very easy process. We're sent your company file, your logo file, and then we send you back mock-ups, and we just we'll go back and forth until we get the approval. It's an easy, pain-free process.
How durable is this thing? How long is this going to last on the front of my vehicle?
So our background is mesh bug screens for the semi-trucks. They're going to last a long time. We're seeing 3 to 5 years of heavy over-the-road use on a semi-truck. The longest one that we've had out here on a pickup truck is 5 years, and it still looks brand new.
It's a bug screen, so it's going to get bugs on it. I'm going to need to wash this off. How do I clean it?
So cleaning it, you can wash it with a hose. You can take it off. I leave mine on going through the automatic car wash. That's just the easiest for us. We go through there every few weeks.
You drove it through one on the way here too, so
Exactly.
This is a testament to that. And what's it like to install it? It looks like it's not too complicated.
No, they take us about 5 minutes to install at our shop. I would plan for 10 to 15. It's really just getting it centered on the grill, but they're very easy to install.
We have a couple options when it comes to throwing it on there.
Right, most of the models are going to install with snaps. We send out 2 options. We send out how the semi-trucks are installed with drilling into the front grill, but we also send out 3M sticky snaps that are adhesive.
In case you don't want to put holes in
Exactly.
your grill there. Very cool. For summertime, that's great. For folks in the wintertime, there's a thing called a winter front. And that's kind of news to me because I didn't grow up in Manitoba or anything like that. So tell me what a winter front is and why I need one.
Right, winter fronts, they're really good for the diesel trucks. So what they do is they'll install in the same places as the bug screens, but they're designed to stop the wind from cooling off the radiator water. It helps keep the engine temperature up while you're going down the road in sub-zero temperatures.
So it's better for your engine. It's also better in the interior because the car is able to make some heat there
Exactly.
for the occupant.
Yes.
And now let's talk about occupant comfort as well here. You guys have come up with some window covers, which we see on the inside of this vehicle. How are those used?
Right, so the window covers, they're dual purpose. They're going to provide you privacy if you're ever out camping or on the road and you just want to sleep in your vehicle. The other benefit is they are 7 layers thick. So you got your nylon that goes against the windshield, 3 layers of 2-ounce polyester, the Mylar, which is a secret ingredient that's the same material used in fire suits, space suits, and then you got 1/4-inch foam to beef it up, and then you got your nice canvas that you're going to see on the inside of the vehicle.
And they're great looking materials, but they also fit the vehicles really well. Are these custom made per vehicle?
Right, yeah, they're made per model, per vehicle. We support just about every semi-truck and truck out there.
How do the window covers attach?
They attach with suction cups.
Couldn't be easier than that.
Couldn't be easier.
Excellent. Now let's talk about the UTV over here. We see the mesh screen in the back there, where a window would be in the back. Tell me what that's used for and why I need one of those.
We call them dust screens, so whenever you're out on the trail, it keeps the dust from rolling in from the back side, down your neck. It also helps keep the sun off the back of your neck as well.
This bag on the back then is super simple, but it's a great idea. Why do folks need one of those?
So the trash bags have been a great addition. The feedback that we've heard from owners of these machines is they lack storage space. So these hang off the rear or the side of these machines, and they just throw their trash in them as they're going down the road.
Perfect. There's no room in some of the more sophisticated.
Exactly, yeah. Some of the racing ones, there is absolutely zero storage space.
Perfect way to save space and also keep your environment clean. To get to the trail, you're going to take your RV. So what do you have for the folks for their RVs too?
So the RVs and even the vans, we have the window cover products. And again, they create a comfortable environment for you inside your vehicle. They're going to keep the hot out if it's the summer and the cold out if it's the winter.
All these products, like I said, make your vehicle look great, make it perform better too, make you a lot more comfortable. You can find everything here at grillads.com. And oh, by the way, did I mention all this handmade in the USA? We'll return with more Motorhead Garage in 7 days, but you don't have to wait that long. You can find our show anywhere you stream TV. Until then, so long, drive safely. We'll see you.